Welcome back to the channel, guys. Alien Realms just dropped the other days, and my next question is, where are we going to go with this Alien franchise? Because we can go so many different directions. And I came up with 16 ideas. Yes, 16 ideas. 16 ideas of where this franchise can go. And it's some very interesting stuff. So if you guys like this stuff, let's go.
Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
I think the very first one is very obvious. We want to follow up a sequel to what we just saw for Alien Realms. We know Rain and Andy, they're the survivors of the movie, and they're on their way to, I think, Uvaga, that's what it is. Interesting planet, Uvaga. Remember, this timeline, it was 2142, so it was essentially 20 years after the original movie and 27 years before Aliens. So we got a big timeline of like where this is going to go. And we know they're on the way to the planet Ugata, but what is that planet? No idea. I'm down for a follow-up to this, and I think a lot of people are thinking this is one of the most obvious choices to go. Second one is, why not have a standalone film for Ripley's daughter? I know she was, teasing Alien Isolation, and I'm going to get into that next. But I think this would be a good time for Ripley's daughter to have her first final appearance in movies, because even though in Aliens we just saw a picture of her when she before she died, but I think there's a good timeline for Ripley's daughter to be in this movie that isn't involved with Isolation. Again, I'm gonna get into Isolation next, but remember, she was born 2112 and she died 2178, so she was only 66 years old, but you got 66 years of her timeline where you can definitely jump into something, her going to find her mother, that is, again, Alien Isolation. But we can do something that isn't involved with Isolation. There's a whole thing where I think Ripley's daughter would be perfect for another movie. Alright, so the third one is the Isolation I was talking about. We all know about the video game Isolation, but why not make it into a movie? Again, this is Ripley's daughter going to find her mother to find answers what's going on. And remember, this is 5 years before Alien Romulus. This is 15 years after the original movie. And what was it? 42 years before Aliens, so it fits right in with the Romulus timeline. I think that'd be a great idea. You got a whole new AI. I think his name was Apollo, but I think that would be a fantastic movie to go. If I can just borrow you guys time for 20 seconds, this is not a sponsor. This is about children that need our help. These are children that have cancer, leukemia, all the bad stuff, and it's kill. I'm from Iowa. We have a children's hospital, and you watch any of the Iowa football games during the first quarter, we did the Iowa Wave. The children in the hospital, they deserve all the stuff. And I just want to say, guys, in the description box below, I have a link for description where you can donate, and that's all I want to say, guys, because I absolutely love Iowa and I love what they're doing with the Iowa children. So please, if you have money and you want to donate, go to the description box, give it to them. Do not give it to me. Next up, for the fourth idea, is that Neil Blomkamp fifth movie that we were gonna give for a long time, but then we ended up not doing it because Prometheus and Covenant kind of took that over. But I love going back to his Neil Blomkamp, the fifth movie idea, and pretty much what it is bringing back Sigourney Weaver, Newt, and Hicks. So essentially, Alien 3 and Resurrection does not count. It's kind of like what Halloween did, come back as a proper sequel. Everything else does not matter. It'd be kind of along that. And Weaver and Michael Biehn was totally down for this movie. I'm sure they might be still down if the money is still there. But essentially, it's coming back to Earth, and this was called Alien Awakenings. And there's the point where there's two spots in this movie. One of it is called the Anchor. And that's like an offshore experiment lab, because they kind of do like we saw in Alien Resurrection, what the military did. But this is Weyland-Yutani kind of full force doing experiments with the xenomorphs, facehuggers. And also you have Weyland-Yutani, they have like this scene where the tower. So when this movie was almost made, there's a lot of concept art out there giving away a lot of good stuff. And also in this, the fifth movie, is they go back to get the original ship from LV-426. Very interesting, bring that back to this, and they kind of go over everything. And the one thing I thought was really cool was, well, two things. The android, when we look at the concept of it, looks like Hugh Jackman was going to be an android. I would love Hugh Jackman as an android. But the second one is Sigourney Weaver was going to do like an exoskeleton suit of like the alien. So her fighting the queen, she's kind of like body armor with the xenomorph stuff, and I thought that'd be a great idea. Such that we never got this, but hey, I think right now would be a good time to do it. The fifth one is one of the kind of the obvious ones that a lot of people are hoping for, me included, is let's go back to this Alien versus Predator idea again. Let's redo this. Let's make it canon to the Alien timeline. But the idea of when are we going to do this? Is this going to be like like Prey. I think the sequel for Prey 2 would be the good follow-up for an Alien and Predator movie. I love that timeline. It's on Earth. It's early Native Americans. Absolutely love it. Or the Romulus sequel that we were hoping to get. What if that leads into like going into an Alien vs Predator movie? We all know, like, what was it, the one movie, the Predator movie, the Predators, when they go to like the hunting planet where they're getting hunted by the Predators. Imagine if that's what you end up on. So it's a good continuation of Romulus and the Predator movies. I'm down for that. Or just something along the lines of Alien vs Predator again. We got to come back to this. We got to revisit it because I know they did not hit a home run when it comes to AVP 1 and 2. The sixth one, and this one is really interesting because, when you saw the original ship in the first Alien movie, the 1979 movie, there hasn't been anything leading up to that, like that ship, because we all know there's Prometheus and Covenant, but those are all different planets. They're all different ships. We've never seen why that ship is on LV-426. So I think they should bridge the gap of Covenant to the original Alien movie, because I know we're supposed to get the third, prequel series with Ridley Scott, but we end up never getting it. I think they should bridge that gap between Covenant and the original Alien movie, figure out how that ship got to LV-426, and what led the company to send Nostromo to that planet. There has to be a reason why they went to that planet, because Mother, the ship of Nostromo, she sent them there because the company told them to. So the company knows a reason why that there's something on LV-426. I think it's a great idea. And you can see, we all know that Rook, which is like Ash, so to speak, in the Alien Romulus. I would love to see him leaving the Romulus station when that was in full force, going into the Nostromo. I think that'd be great because the whole Romulus station was awesome. Imagine if that was a whole movie itself. And that's a whole nother story, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But that's the sixth idea. And the seventh one is very interesting. So aliens, we all know, right when Newt and her brother and mom and dad, they go investigating on the ship. And the dad ends up with a face hugger. And then boom, we kind of go black to Sigourney Weaver. And we don't see anything what's going on with the Hadley's Hope. I think that's what it's called, Hadley's Hope. That's the colonists on the planet. We see nothing about how that went down. That right there's a whole movie. I think the movie would be a great idea if you show right when Newt's father gets a face hugger to the point where the Marines get there. You have a whole story. You have 158 people on the planet. It's a colony that's full of research and mining people. And it's Weyland-Yutani, full, terraforming planet. I think there's a lot there to explore. Number 8, I think we should have another standalone film because, like, Romulus, that's more or less a standalone film. It's not really tying into the original or the aliens. I mean, it's a bunch of Easter eggs, but it's really more of a standalone film. Remember, this is 20 years after the original movie and 27 years before Aliens. So you have a lot of timeline there where you can still explore in between the Alien and Aliens. I don't know what to come up with, but I'm down for another standalone film. All right, this one is probably not everyone's favorite idea, but it's still an idea. For the 9th one is going back to the prison for number 3, because we all know in Resurrection, they said they went back to the prison to get her DNA, which is what led to her being cloned. So already hinted at they went back. And we know at the very end, there was that sole survivor, that prisoner. And of course, the human bishop. Like, come on, I want to explore a little more into that. Like, what happened after Alien 3, and then we can come back? Like, what if they reopened it to make it, because the original story for Alien 3 was supposed to be monks. That's why they were really religion in the story, but because they ended up being prisoners, but they kept that religion factor. Imagine if they opened that back up and they made it monks, and then what they forgot was there's a few facehuggers, a few H still there, and then they come back and they just destroy everything. I'm cool with coming back because I'm a good fan of Alien 3. I would love to revisit that prison. 10th idea would be a prequel to Prometheus. I know the next TV series, it's not next, it's going to be the very first TV series, but on Hulu next year is called Alien Earth. That's supposed to take place 30 years before the original movie. So that's pretty much right where the Prometheus timeline is. So that could be a prequel to Prometheus, but I'm down for something that's before Prometheus. I know there's a big timeline, there's a lot of gap, but if we come with an idea, we could have a prequel to Prometheus leading up to the Prometheus and Covenant. We get a proper trilogy for the prequel movies. The 11th idea, this one's, I don't know, it's not really much to it, but like a full Weyland-Yutani movie. It's like full Weyland-Yutani. Kind of like I said with Alien Resurrection, but that's more of a military. That wasn't really Yutani, that's the military. Imagine that, but full Weyland-Yutani. Absolutely would love that. Make that on Earth. It's kind of like the same idea of what the Alien 5 was going to be, but I'm down for something along those lines. 12th, we can do a complete Ripley reboot, a complete remake. I think at some point that'd be good. At some point that'd be okay, but not right now. I think it's like Sigourney Weaver's still alive. I think we can still bring her back at some place, but I'm not ready for a whole reboot, restore, rehashing. I think that can wait for, you know, another 10, 20 years before we get a complete remake and complete reboot of this Alien timeline. 13th, we can do a follow-up to Alien Resurrection, because we know at the very end of the movie, you know, Ripley, Call, I think, no, Rain? No, it's Call, yeah. The AI robot that was played by Winona Ryder. They were the survivors of Alien Resurrection. Of course, Ron Perlman and that one other guy that was in wheelchair. And they're on Earth, and it's like post-apocalypto. And I think that'd be a great follow-up to see what happened. Even though, yeah, Alien Resurrection is not my favorite movie at all. It's the second worst, in my opinion, in the franchise. I think we could have a follow-up, if done correctly, of course. 14th, and this one I actually really like. So in the beginning of Romulus, they bring back the big chap. And then they kind of like they didn't show much after that till the kids got on the space station. They saw the aftermath. I would absolutely love to see this whole Romulus station from the moment they got the big chap until like everyone got killed, the whole 9 yards. Kind of like again with Aliens with Hadley's Hope. They don't really show what happened, but I would absolutely love to see more or less a prequel to Romulus leading up right to Romulus. That right there could be definitely a good story. 15th, we can do something with Orgai 6, because we know at the very end of Covenant, you know, David, he pretty much takes the whole ship pretty much as captives. He takes the ship, he's going to Orgai 6. He has all these people that he's going to use as like his bait, his whatever you want to use to make facehuggers, make the xenomorphs, because we never got a proper finish for David. And I think it would be awesome to us to go to Orgai 6 to figure out what happened with David and to get a proper send-off for this Prometheus and Alien Covenant, because they kind of left it where there's still a lot of questions to be answered. And the very last one is, maybe we should just hit pause for a little bit. Should we just hit pause for a little bit and just enjoy this? Romulus is doing great. We got the Hulu TV series coming out next year. I say we wait and see till after how many seasons, like maybe there's 1 or 3 seasons for this Hulu stuff. I would absolutely love to just finish that out, see where that goes, then we can come up with another Alien movie, because, you know, it's been since, 2017 when we had Alien Covenant, so it was a long time. You know, what was that, 7-8 years gap? I'm okay with waiting a few years. I don't want this to be another boom, boom, boom. Because like Halloween, they made 4, 5, and 6. Not 6, it was pretty much 4 and 5. They made them like within a year. I think, what was it, Child's Play 3, Chucky? That was made within a year of the second movie also. So I don't want to go that quick into it, but I'm okay hitting pause as long as this Alien TV series is really good. But that's my 16 ideas of where we can go with this franchise. And I'm curious, is there anything I missed or you guys absolutely love or absolutely hate, or just what sticks out to you guys? And I would love to hear, so jump in the comments below. And until then, you guys know how this works. Like, subscribe if you guys like this stuff. And remember always, go Hawkeyes.